Hello and welcome to Cricket Buzz Live. The story of the second T20I in Chennai is that India won the toss, put England into bat, and there was a lot of sort of more of same from the first game to the second. The first 10 overs pretty much told the same story, but then in the back 10, there was a few cameos that have pushed England up way beyond the score that they got in the first game. They've got to 165 for 9. So they kept losing wickets, but they kept attacking. Jos Buttler, of course, in the first 10, that was the story out of all the batters, the proper batters playing. It was Jos Buttler once again, who looked like he was in control. And then Brydon Carse, who's come into this game in place of Gus Atkinson, he was good with the bat. And you might end up thinking, and England fans may end up thinking, if it was not for that run out, could that score have been even higher? But, well, it's ifs and buts. On the other side, for the Indians, again, spin. There was Akshar Patel with 2 wickets, Varun Chakravarti with 2 wickets. Washington Sundar got 1 wicket. So there was a lot of spin once again doing the job for India. Abhishek Sharma got 1 wicket as well. So that meant 6 wickets for India with spin. And there was 1 to the run out. I've got Zahir Khan and Michael Vaughan here with me. Zach, it's been a strange 20 overs, right? You felt like you do have to feel that the momentum swung here and there. It wasn't exactly one-way traffic like it was for England at Eden Gardens.
Well, I think England wanting to play that aggressive, dominating kind of cricket. In the process, they're losing wickets. So 165, if you just look at the score, you'll say, okay, fine. Like, Chennai, anything can happen. This kind of total, you're always in the game. Maybe bowlers will have to bail the batters out. That kind of approach. But if you look at just in the micro-analysis, there are situations, when a batter is hitting 6 and 4, then again going for a big shot, losing the wicket. Batter hitting 6 and 6, again losing the wicket. So those fine-tuning aspects of the game, if you bring in, then 2 set batters batting at the back end of the innings, maybe 3 overs, 4 overs, it's a different ball game. You're talking about difference of 20 runs. Now, 165 to 185, it's a huge difference in this format. And I think that's something which England think tank will have to think hard to strike that right balance. Maybe if you are able to be aggressive yet understanding those situations where you got to be a little smart, maybe, change a gear, go down a little, adapt, and then give importance to having 2 set batters in for longer time. Is something which can add to this approach even more. And that's something, food for thought for England think tank for sure.
Michael, this innings, though, you'd have to say it's not one-way traffic like it was at Eden Gardens. So England did get their bits going, but you still see Baz McCullum's blueprint all over this. It was hell for leather for a large part of it, and then still getting outfoxed by spin for some part of it.
Yeah, they showed some good signs, some good striking. I just think, Baz McCullum's approach is very clear and obvious now across all the formats. He wants his players to go out and just be ultra aggressive all the time. With that becomes a huge amount of risk. Could England have got to 185 playing a little bit more sensible? Of course they could, but I just think Brendan McCullum is just trying to install into this England side very early in his white ball coaching reign that he wants ultra aggression, and it might end up with the team getting 20 below par or 30 below par for the first few games that he's in charge. But he'll be saying to them, the more that we do it, the more aggressive we are on a continuous basis, we'll then be able to get 200 plus on a regular basis as well. The smartness in me and the cynic in me believes that in white ball cricket now, there's a lot of skillful bowlers. And if you think you can just whack it all the time and hit the sixes pretty much against all the different bowlers on the different surfaces that you come up against, the cynic in me tells you that you'll probably end up 20, 30, probably short of par on a regular basis. But I was surprised, I have to say, that Hardik Pandya only bowled 2 overs. 2 overs, 1 for 6. And from an Indian perspective, the spin obviously the way to go against England. But to think that he bowled 2 overs and got 1 for 6 and didn't get another over, or at least 1 more, or if not 2 more overs. England will look at the way that Hardik bowled, particularly those cutters and slow balls into the surface, and I'm pretty sure they'll try and copy exactly the way that he bowled.
Okay, let me ask you then a simple question, which perhaps does not have a simple answer. Between the optimist and the cynic, the batting effort you've seen today, who's winning? The optimist or the cynic?
Well, I think the optimist just because I saw in Bryden Cast, Jamie Smith, two players that have just come into the side. Very, very exciting talents. We've seen them across Test match cricket. Jamie Smith in particular, I think, will play all formats for many, many years for England. He's going to be a fantastic cricketer. Bryden Cast is just kind of new to the scene, but he seems to have the right mentality, attitude, and obviously he'll have to do it with the ball in hand now, but with the bat in hand, when you've got players coming down at number 8 who can strike it, he was 31 of 17 and hit some nice blows against the spinners. Lots of starts, and Zach's exactly right. If England had just played just a little bit with the more sense, particularly 1 or 2 players that got in to take the game deep, they would have got 185. And look, 165 is in the game, but you would fancy your chances if you'd have got 185 on the board.
And again, we're talking about spin wars and how much that's playing on England's mind. It was playing on India's mind as well. India played 3 spinners in the previous game. This time, Surya decided to use, no 4, but 5. He used 5 spinners today. I mean, I want the trivia junkies out there to tell me when's the last time 5 spinners were used in a T20 international. I don't know how far back we can go, but it doesn't come to the top of my head. But there you go. 1 for Washi. He got a wicket in that. Akshar bowled his quota, as did Ravi and Varun Chakravarti. So your first choice spinners have bowled their quota. But Washington Sundar and Abhishek Sharma have both got 1 over each from Hardik Pandya's quota. And they both picked up a wicket each, Zach.
Yeah, maybe Surya wanted to just use the opportunity to bring in Abhishek Sharma, see how he's going about doing his business.
Because he's done that a lot in the IPL, Abhishek.
At that stage, the situation which Indian team which was very comfortable situation. England had lost 5 wickets, 6 wickets at that stage, so that just gives you that comfort of trying something different. I think it was just out of the box thinking there, maybe. Just giving him some game time with the ball, but other than that, I think when you have too many bowling options, at times you will see that someone is under bowled. So Washington Sundar is that bowler. Will be feeling that. Hardik Pandya is another one who will be feeling that. 15 over of spin is utilized by Surya, obviously trying to keep up with the conditions. But maybe Washington Sundar also in that list could have been. Bowling extra over or 2.
Well, but Michael, that happens, right? When you have 7 bowlers, you have 7 options in a 20-over game, it's going to be a bit like a wedding. Everyone's going to go back just a little upset about something.
Yeah, I like the way you've used the analogy of a wedding and a bowling attack. I just think sometimes you can have too many options as a captain. I'm just looking at the glaring figures of Hardik Pandya, where he bowled 2 overs, 1 for 6. How he's not bowled at least 1 more over is beyond me. And, you can utilise all your options. You got to remember this is a series where the captains, the coaches are probably just trialing 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 combinations, giving a bowler or a new bowler a spell or 2 that you wouldn't necessarily do in a T20 World Cup, or if you're a month away from a T20 World Cup. We've got to accept in these kind of series that we might see 1 or 2 things or 1 or 2 combinations that don't make a huge amount of sense, but in the long term, when you're planning for the next World Cup, which is a bit of a way off, you have to start somewhere in terms of giving these players a little bit of experience and putting them under pressure just to find out if they've got the mettle to be able to cope at this level. So strange sometimes that you see all these bowlers, but I think the captain is just trying to find out 1 or 2 things.
Fair enough, actually. And we talk about the fact that England's done a little better from their previous batting effort, but the way they batted in that game, the only way to go was actually up. But the question now is it high enough? Is it improvement enough? On the face of it, Zach, there don't seem too many demons in this pitch. 165 for this Indian batting lineup. You'd think it's like cookies and cream, they'd be thinking, right?
Well, you still got to start well, and from England's point of view, they'll have to figure out and find a way of taking wickets. The only way you will be able to give yourself that chance is by getting in that middle order as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You've seen with any team. You've seen it with England also when they're losing too early wickets. It's not easy then for middle order to consolidate. Similarly with Indian team, Abhishek is someone who's going to be looking to be aggressive. Samson, no exception there. Surya also. So top three batters. I think if England bowlers are able to get their inroads, then there will be some chance. Since you have a couple of injuries in the Indian side, Washington Sundar and Dhruv Jurel are playing their first games in the series. So yeah, I think that's the chance which England has. But they'll have to create that situation and scenario right from the word go.
Well, Michael, you think it's going to be easy? I mean, India's got proper batters down till 8. At number 8, you'd either see Washington Sundar or Akshar Patel. So you've got proper batters down till 8. 165. Does it seem like it could be a challenge for India, or would this be easy peasy, lemon squeezy?
We've had cookies and cream, weddings, and easy peasy lemon squeezy. Film.
It's a Saturday night, Michael.
I think India are favourites without any question. But the way that Hardik bowled and those cutters towards the back end, I think if England are smart and clever and they utilise their slower ball options, clearly the power play. If India come and dominate the power play, I think that might be game over. If they get to 60 in the first 6, which is possible, I think it could be game over. But with that, power at the top of the order that India have and the risks that they'll have to take in the first 6, it might bring opportunity for England and they might get 2 or 3 wickets. And if they do, I think they have a great chance of winning the game. But India will be very confident of chasing down this score. It'll depend. I mean, does it come into play? Will the ball skid on? If it does, again, I don't think 165's going to be enough. But England will have to field well. They'll have to take all their opportunities. And one thing's for sure is it's going to be a damn sight closer than the first game in Calcutta.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely closer. On a Saturday night, I would have liked it to finish early because, we got things to do, places to be, but hey, a closer match is worth that sacrifice. So we'd like to see that. Another thing I noticed when I looked down that India batting lineup, Zach, and tell me from a bowler's perspective, because I know so much discussion happens about this right-left combination, right? India today with their 8, 4 right-handers, 4 left-handers, perfectly down the middle. Tell me how much of a difference that makes for a bowler. Does that play on your mind, maybe on the fielders, on the captain, just a bit?
Right-left has that advantage, there is no doubt about that. Bowlers will have to adjust that line length accordingly. So that adjustment at times can put bowlers under pressure. So experienced bowlers deal with that better, and that slight advantage will always be there as far as the game is concerned. How Indian team is going to utilize it, whether they're going to stick to that or there will be 2 right-handers batting is something which we have to wait and see. But Adil Rashid bowling in those middle overs, if there is a left-hander batting, that guy definitely is going to be in that position to be the man in charge to dominate or take the bowler on.
Yeah, we've been seeing that India likes that right-left combination. But well, sometimes a right-hander gets out and a left-hander comes in, because we saw it last game, right? Tilak came in, so there was Tilak and Abhishek who were batting together. So yeah, I think we're going to pretty much see the same batting lineup for the top 4, and then let's see what happens. All right, I got the prediction right. My guess was right for the first innings. I said 164 was 165. Score 1 point for the GK. Boom. Let's go with power play predictions. Wani, let's go with you first.
I'm going to go 61.
61. I like it.
I'm going with 48.
48?
Yeah.
Oh, you've left the 50s wide open for me. I mean, I'm very far from the 50s, but yeah, they've left them wide open for me. Let me see. You've said 61, so 40. Let me take down the middle. All right, I'm going to say 56. Right? 56. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over. Zach and me will be far happier then, because we've got dinner waiting for us. So we'll be well fed. Very happy. So we'll see you there at the end of the 10th over with Crickbuzz Combox. Right now is all we have for you. We're going to see you on Crickbuzz Live in just a bit. Thank you for watching.